CLEP Principles of Management Leading. Question 1. Could a case where a posting lists required education, skills, and experience for the role during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A. Job description. Option B. Job specification. Option C. Procedure. Option D. Span of control. The correct answer is option B. Job specification. Job specification fits because a job specification identifies qualifications a worker needs for the job. Job description is different because it lists duties performed, procedure is different because it gives steps for a task, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 2. Why would a scenario where a supervisor paraphrases an employee's concern before responding during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A. Filtering. Option B. Noise. Option C. Active listening. Option D. Downward control. The correct answer is option C. Active listening. Active listening fits because active listening checks understanding and shows attention to the speaker. Filtering is different because it distorts information before it reaches the receiver. Noise is different because it interferes with communication, and downward control is different because it is not a standard communication concept. Question 3. Where does a production manager directly supervises employees who make the company's product inside a sales department for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A. Staff authority. Option B. Informal authority. Option C. Line authority. Option D. Mediation. The correct answer is option C. Line authority. Line authority fits because line authority is direct authority over core work activities. Staff authority is different because it provides advice and support. Informal authority is different because it comes from relationships rather than formal position, and mediation is different because it helps parties settle a dispute. Question 4. Should a student connect a leader rewards employees for meeting agreed performance targets inside an HR department for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A. Transformational leadership. Option B. Servant leadership. Option C. Situational leadership. Option D. Transactional leadership. The correct answer is option D. Transactional leadership. Transactional leadership fits because transactional leadership uses exchanges, rewards, and corrective actions. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires commitment to change. Servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers, and situational leadership is different because it adapts style to readiness. Question 5. Which concept is shown when a routine refund request is handled with an established policy in a call center for the Sterling unit? Option A. Program decision. Option B. Non-program decision. Option C. Strategic alliance. Option D. Job enrichment. The correct answer is option A. Program decision. Program decision fits because program decisions use rules or procedures for recurring problems. Non-program decision is different because it addresses new and unusual situations. Strategic alliance is different because it is cooperation between firms, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work. Question 6. A company reinforces a new process until it becomes the normal way to work at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A. Unfreezing. Option B. Refreezing. Option C. Storming. Option D. Forecasting. The correct answer is option B. Refreezing. Refreezing fits because refreezing stabilizes a change so the new behavior lasts. Unfreezing is different because it prepares people for change. Storming is different because it is a team development stage, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 7. During a management case, managers compare internal strengths and weaknesses with external opportunities and threats in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A. PERT analysis. Option B. Performance appraisal. Option C. Collective bargaining. Option D. SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option D. SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis fits because SWOT analysis organizes internal and external factors for strategic planning. PERT analysis is different because it schedules complex project activities. Performance appraisal is different because it evaluates an employee's work, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 8. How should a manager classify a situation where work is studied to find the most efficient way to perform each task at a university office for the Sterling unit? Option A. Human relations approach. Option B. Scientific management. Option C. Contingency theory. Option D. Bureaucracy. The correct answer is option B. Scientific management. Scientific management fits because scientific management emphasizes task analysis, standard methods, and efficiency. Human relations approach is different because it emphasizes social needs and worker attitudes. Contingency theory is different because it argues management depends on the situation, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes hierarchy and rules. Question 9. When a team member keeps discussion focused on goals, facts, and deadlines during a product launch for the Sterling unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, maintenance role. Option B, blocking role. Option C, informal authority. Option D, task role. The correct answer is option D, task role. Task role fits because task roles help the group accomplish its work. Maintenance role is different because it supports relationships and morale. Blocking role is different because it disrupts group progress, and informal authority is different because it comes from influence rather than position. Question 10. After employees move among different positions to learn broader skills during a budget review for the Sterling unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, job enlargement. Option B, job rotation. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, specialization. The correct answer is option B, job rotation. Job rotation fits because job rotation shifts employees through different jobs to build variety and experience. Job enlargement is different because it adds similar tasks to one job. Job enrichment is different because it increases responsibility and meaning, and specialization is different because it narrows work into specific tasks. Question 11. If executives respond to a crisis the company has never faced before during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, program decision. Option B, non-program decision. Option C, procedure. Option D, standing plan. The correct answer is option B, non-program decision. Non-program decision fits because non-program decisions are novel, complex, and not solved by routine rules. Program decision is different because it handles repeated problems, procedure is different because it gives routine steps, and standing plan is different because it guides recurring situations. Question 12. To analyze a case where a department head groups jobs, assigns authority, and allocates resources during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit, which term should be selected? Option A, planning. Option B, leading. Option C, controlling. Option D, organizing. The correct answer is option D, organizing. Organizing fits because organizing creates the structure needed to carry out a plan. Planning is different because it chooses goals before the structure is built. Leading is different because it motivates people rather than designs jobs. And controlling is different because it checks performance after standards exist. Question 13. For an exam item where a neutral third party helps disputing employees reach their own agreement inside a sales department for the Sterling unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, arbitration. Option B, mediation. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, groupthink. The correct answer is option B, mediation. Mediation fits because mediation guides the process without imposing a binding decision. Arbitration is different because it usually gives the third-party decision power. Collective bargaining is different because it is labor management negotiation, and groupthink is different because it is pressure toward agreement. Question 14. In a workplace example where a leader recognizes frustration in a team and responds calmly inside an HR department for the Sterling unit, which concept is tested? Option A, emotional intelligence. Option B, technical skill. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence fits because emotional intelligence involves understanding and managing emotions in oneself and others. Technical skill is different because it concerns specialized job knowledge. Benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leaders, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 15. Before choosing an answer about an organization designs pay rates, incentives, and salary ranges in a call center for the Sterling unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, compensation. Option B, benefits. Option C, recruitment. Option D, quality control. The correct answer is option A, compensation. Compensation fits because compensation covers financial rewards given for employee work. Benefits is different because they are indirect rewards such as insurance or leave. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and quality control is different because it checks output against standards. Question 16. One manager notices that experts give anonymous opinions through several rounds of questionnaires at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, town hall meeting. Option B, functional structure. Option C, concurrent control. Option D, Delphi technique. The correct answer is option D, Delphi technique. Delphi technique fits because the Delphi technique gathers expert judgment while reducing direct social pressure. Town hall meeting is different because it is open discussion rather than anonymous expert rounds. Functional structure is different because it groups similar activities, and concurrent control is different because it monitors current work. Question 17. Could a case where a theorist emphasizes hierarchy, formal rules, and impersonal treatment in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A, bureaucratic management. Option B, human relations management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, JIT inventory. The correct answer is option A, bureaucratic management. Bureaucratic management fits because bureaucratic management explains organizations through formal authority, rules, and specialization. Human relations management is different because it emphasizes social and psychological factors. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires change through vision, and JIT inventory is different because it reduces inventory holding. Question 18. Why would a scenario where frontline employees send suggestions and problems to senior managers at a university office for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A, downward communication. Option B, horizontal communication. Option C, external communication. Option D, upward communication. The correct answer is option D, upward communication. Upward communication fits because upward communication flows from lower levels to higher levels. Downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Horizontal communication is different because it flows across peers, and external communication is different because it crosses organizational boundaries. Question 19. Where does an employee is motivated by achievement, recognition, responsibility, and growth during a product launch for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, Maslow's hierarchy. Option B, equity theory. Option C, Herzberg's two-factor theory. Option D, scientific management. The correct answer is option C, Herzberg's two-factor theory. Herzberg's two-factor theory fits because Herzberg separates motivators from hygiene factors and links motivators to job satisfaction. Maslow's hierarchy is different because it organizes human needs in levels. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness of reward ratios, and scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency. Question 20. Should a student connect an engineer reports to both a functional manager and a project manager during a budget review for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A, matrix structure. Option B, functional structure. Option C, centralization. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option A, matrix structure. Matrix structure fits because a matrix structure combines functional and project authority, creating dual reporting. Functional structure is different because it usually has one functional chain. Centralization is different because it refers to where decisions are made, and job analysis is different because it studies the content of a job. Question 21. Which concept is shown when managers set expected revenues and spending limits for a department during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit? Option A, budget. Option B, organization chart. Option C, job description. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option A, budget. Budget fits because a budget is a financial plan that helps allocate and control resources. Organization chart is different because it shows formal reporting relationships. Job description is different because it lists position duties, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 22. Employees work harder when they believe effort leads to performance and performance leads to valued rewards during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, equity theory. Option B, reinforcement theory. Option C, expectancy theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option C, expectancy theory. Expectancy theory fits because expectancy theory connects effort, performance, and outcomes. Equity theory is different because it centers on fairness comparisons. Reinforcement theory is different because it focuses on consequences after behavior, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 23. During a management case, materials arrive shortly before they are needed in production inside a sales department for the Sterling unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, safety stock. Option B, just-in-time inventory. Option C, job rotation. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option B, just-in-time inventory. Just-in-time inventory fits because JIT reduces inventory holding by coordinating deliveries closely with production needs. Safety stock is different because it keeps extra inventory as a buffer. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and SWOT analysis is different because it studies strategic factors. Question 24. How should a manager classify a situation where a manager studies how changes in one department affect suppliers, employees, and customers inside an HR department for the Sterling unit? Option A, scientific management. Option B, job specification. Option C, downward communication. Option D, systems theory. The correct answer is option D, systems theory. Systems theory fits because systems theory views the organization as interdependent parts within a larger environment. Scientific management is different because it focuses on efficient task design. Job specification is different because it lists worker qualifications, and downward communication is different because it describes message direction. Question 25. When an employee reports illegal conduct to appropriate authorities or channels in a call center for the Sterling unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, benchmarking. Option B, job rotation. Option C, whistleblowing. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option C, whistleblowing. Whistleblowing fits because whistleblowing is reporting wrongdoing that threatens the organization or public interest. Benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices. Job rotation is different because it changes job assignments, and downward communication is different because it sends messages from managers to employees. Question 26. After a manager defines a problem, lists alternatives, evaluates them, and selects a solution at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, rational decision-making model. Option B, grapevine. Option C, equity theory. Option D, laissez-faire leadership. The correct answer is option A, rational decision-making model. Rational decision-making model fits because the rational model uses a logical sequence to choose among alternatives. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Equity theory is different because it explains motivation through fairness, and laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers broad freedom. Question 27. If a manager must explain why a project missed its target in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, authority. Option B, delegation. Option C, accountability. Option D, recruitment. The correct answer is option C, accountability. Accountability fits because accountability means being answerable for results. Authority is different because it is decision-making power. Delegation is different because it transfers work and authority to another person, and recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants. Question 28. To analyze a case where an employee receives more tasks at the same skill level at a university office for the Sterling unit, which term should be selected? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, job rotation. Option C, job enlargement. Option D, empowerment. The correct answer is option C, job enlargement. Job enlargement fits because job enlargement expands the number of similar tasks in a job. Job enrichment is different because it adds deeper responsibility and growth. Job rotation is different because it moves people among different jobs, and empowerment is different because it gives decision authority. Question 29. For an exam item where a supervisor formally evaluates an employee's job results against standards during a product launch for the Sterling unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, job analysis. Option B, recruitment. Option C, performance appraisal. Option D, orientation. The correct answer is option C, performance appraisal. Performance appraisal fits because performance appraisal assesses how well an employee met performance expectations. Job analysis is different because it studies job duties, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and orientation is different because it introduces new hires. Question 30. In a workplace example where employees share unofficial information before management makes a formal announcement during a budget review for the Sterling unit, which concept is tested? Option A, grapevine. Option B, organization chart. Option C, policy manual. Option D, budget report. The correct answer is option A, grapevine. Grapevine fits because the grapevine is the informal communication network inside an organization. Organization chart is different because it is a formal structure diagram. Policy manual is different because it gives official guidance, and budget report is different because it gives financial control information. Question 31. Before choosing an answer about a manager chooses a leadership style based on the team's skill and the situation during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, contingency theory. Option B, one best way approach. Option C, equity theory. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option A, contingency theory. Contingency theory fits because contingency theory says effective management depends on situational factors. One best way approach is different because it assumes one method works everywhere. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions, and centralization is different because it concerns where authority is held. Question 32. One manager notices that a manager uses rewards and consequences to increase desired behavior during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, reinforcement theory. Option B, equity theory. Option C, goal-setting theory. Option D, matrix structure. The correct answer is option A, reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory fits because reinforcement theory explains behavior through its consequences. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions. Goal-setting theory is different because it emphasizes clear and challenging goals, and matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines. Question 33. Could a case where employees receive clear, challenging goals and regular feedback inside a sales department for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A, Maslow's hierarchy. Option B, goal-setting theory. Option C, Hawthorne effect. Option D, decentralization. The correct answer is option B, goal-setting theory. Goal-setting theory fits because goal-setting theory says specific challenging goals can improve performance when accepted. Maslow's hierarchy is different because it ranks needs. Hawthorne effect is different because it involves changes due to being observed, and decentralization is different because it delegates authority downward. Question 34. Why would a scenario where an employee receives performance input from supervisors, peers, subordinates, and sometimes customers inside an HR department for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A, 360-degree feedback. Option B, self-managed team. Option C, job specification. Option D, budget control. The correct answer is option A, 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback fits because 360-degree feedback gathers appraisal information from multiple sources around the employee. Self-managed team is different because it gives a team control over work. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications, and budget control is different because it compares financial results with a budget. Question 35. Where does leaders explain the organization's basic purpose and reason for existing in a call center for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, mission statement. Option B, procedure. Option C, variance report. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option A, mission statement. Mission statement fits because a mission statement states what the organization does and why it exists. Procedure is different because it gives step-by-step instructions. Variance report is different because it compares actual results with standards, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications for a job. Question 36. Should a student connect a culture prefers detailed rules and clear procedures to reduce ambiguity at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A, power distance. Option B, individualism. Option C, uncertainty avoidance. Option D, job rotation. The correct answer is option C, uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty avoidance fits because uncertainty avoidance describes how much people prefer structure over uncertainty. Power distance is different because it concerns acceptance of hierarchy. Individualism is different because it concerns personal independence. And job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs. Question 37. Which concept is shown when a manager sends instructions and performance expectations to employees in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit? Option A, upward communication. Option B, horizontal communication. Option C, downward communication. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option C, downward communication. Downward communication fits because downward communication flows from higher levels to lower levels. Upward communication is different because it moves from employees to managers. Horizontal communication is different because it moves among peers, and grapevine is different because it is informal and unofficial. Question 38. A neutral third party hears a dispute and makes a binding decision at a university office for the Sterling unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, mediation. Option B, arbitration. Option C, brainstorming. Option D, job rotation. The correct answer is option B, arbitration. Arbitration fits because arbitration gives the third party authority to decide the outcome. Mediation is different because it helps parties negotiate without imposing a decision. Brainstorming is different because it generates ideas, and job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs. Question 39. During a management case, a new competitor enters the market with lower prices during a product launch for the Sterling unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, strength. Option B, opportunity. Option C, threat. Option D, procedure. The correct answer is option C, threat. Threat fits because a threat is an external condition that can harm performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and procedure is different because it is a sequence of steps. Question 40. How should a manager classify a situation where a company identifies a patented process it owns as an advantage during a budget review for the Sterling unit? Option A, threat. Option B, opportunity. Option C, weakness. Option D, strength. The correct answer is option D, strength. Strength fits because a strength is an internal positive capability or resource. Threat is different because it is an external danger, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and weakness is different because it is an internal limitation. Question 41. When HR builds a pool of applicants for an open position during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, recruitment. Option B, selection. Option C, orientation. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option A, recruitment. Recruitment fits because recruitment attracts qualified candidates to apply. Selection is different because it chooses among applicants, orientation is different because it introduces hired employees, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates work results. Question 42. After a leader inspires employees with a vision for major change during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, transactional leadership. Option B, scientific management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, budgetary control. The correct answer is option C, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership fits because transformational leadership motivates people through vision, meaning, and change. Transactional leadership is different because it focuses on exchanges and rewards, scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, and budgetary control is different because it monitors financial results. Question 43. If an employee compares pay and effort with coworkers and judges fairness inside a sales department for the Sterling unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, expectancy theory. Option B, Maslow's theory. Option C, TQM. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option D, equity theory. Equity theory fits because equity theory focuses on perceived fairness between inputs and outcomes. Expectancy theory is different because it asks whether effort will lead to valued rewards. Maslow's theory is different because it ranks needs in a hierarchy, and TQM is different because it focuses on continuous quality improvement. Question 44. To analyze a case where a supervisor is responsible for 12 direct reports inside an HR department for the Sterling unit, which term should be selected? Option A, chain of command. Option B, unity of direction. Option C, job specification. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option D, span of control. Span of control fits because span of control is the number of employees reporting directly to a manager. Chain of command is different because it shows reporting lines rather than number of reports. Unity of direction is different because it aligns activities under one plan, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Question 45. For an exam item where leaders describe what the organization wants to become in the future in a call center for the Sterling unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, role. Option B, job description. Option C, vision statement. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option C, vision statement. Vision statement fits because a vision statement expresses an inspiring future state. Role is different because it states a specific required or prohibited behavior. Job description is different because it lists duties of a position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work while it is happening. Question 46. In a workplace example where an employee accepts the duty to complete an assigned task at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit, which concept is tested? Option A, authority. Option B, accountability. Option C, centralization. Option D, responsibility. The correct answer is option D, responsibility. Responsibility fits because responsibility is the obligation to perform assigned work. Authority is different because it is the right to direct work. Accountability is different because it is answerability for outcomes, and centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels. Question 47. Before choosing an answer about countries cooperate to make trade easier among members in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, informal organization. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, mediation. Option D, trading alliance. The correct answer is option D, trading alliance. Trading alliance fits because a trading alliance reduces barriers and supports trade among participating economies. Informal organization is different because it is a social network inside a workplace. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility, and mediation is different because it guides dispute resolution. Question 48. One manager notices that a company gives managers broad guidance for handling customer refunds at a university office for the Sterling unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, procedure. Option B, rule. Option C, vision. Option D, policy. The correct answer is option D, policy. Policy fits because a policy is a general guideline for recurring decisions. Procedure is different because it gives exact steps to follow. Rule is different because it states a specific required or prohibited action, and vision is different because it describes a desired future. Question 49. Could a case where a manager chooses a satisfactory solution because time and information are limited during a product launch for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A, perfect rationality. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, management by exception. Option D, bounded rationality. The correct answer is option D, bounded rationality. Bounded rationality fits because bounded rationality recognizes that managers cannot always make perfectly rational decisions. Perfect rationality is different because it assumes complete information and unlimited analysis. Brainstorming is different because it generates many ideas, and management by exception is different because it focuses attention on major deviations. Question 50. Why would a scenario where leaders explain why old habits must change before introducing a new system during a budget review for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A, unfreezing. Option B, refreezing. Option C, controlling. Option D, recruiting. The correct answer is option A, unfreezing. Unfreezing fits because unfreezing prepares people to let go of current behaviors and accept change. Refreezing is different because it stabilizes the new behavior. Controlling is different because it measures performance against standards, and recruiting is different because it attracts applicants. Question 51. Where does a supervisor assigns employees to shifts and sets task timing during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, job analysis. Option B, strategic vision. Option C, mediation. Option D, work scheduling. The correct answer is option D, work scheduling. Work scheduling fits because work scheduling determines when tasks and workers are needed. Job analysis is different because it studies duties and requirements. Strategic vision is different because it describes a desired future, and mediation is different because it helps resolve disputes. Question 52. Should a student connect a manager sets objectives and chooses actions before work begins during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A, organizing. Option B, leading. Option C, controlling. Option D, planning. The correct answer is option D, planning. Planning fits because planning is the function that defines goals and decides how to reach them. Organizing is different because it arranges resources after goals are set. Leading is different because it influences people to work toward goals, and controlling is different because it measures results against standards. Question 53. Which concept is shown when a leader asks employees for input before making an important decision inside a sales department for the Sterling unit? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, democratic leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option C, democratic leadership. Democratic leadership fits because democratic leadership involves participation and shared input. Autocratic leadership is different because it relies on leader-centered decision-making. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it provides minimal direction, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes exchanges of rewards for performance. Question 54. A team member reduces tension and encourages quieter members to participate inside an HR department for the Sterling unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, task role. Option B, program decision. Option C, line authority. Option D, maintenance role. The correct answer is option D, maintenance role. Maintenance role fits because maintenance roles support group relationships and cohesion. Task role is different because it focuses directly on completing the work. Program decision is different because it handles routine problems, and line authority is different because it commands core work activities. Question 55. During a management case, a leader gives capable experts broad freedom and little direct supervision in a call center for the Sterling unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, bureaucratic leadership. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option C, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership fits because laissez-faire leadership minimizes leader control and allows follower autonomy. Autocratic leadership is different because it is directive and centralized. Bureaucratic leadership is different because it follows rules closely, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes rewards and corrections. Question 56. How should a manager classify a situation where middle managers convert broad goals into departmental actions at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, tactical planning. Option C, orientation. Option D, collective bargaining. The correct answer is option B, tactical planning. Tactical planning fits because tactical planning translates strategy into plans for units or departments. Strategic planning is different because it is broader and handled mainly by top management. Orientation is different because it introduces new employees to the organization, and collective bargaining is different because it is negotiation between labor and management. Question 57. When a job is redesigned to include more responsibility, achievement, and growth in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, job enlargement. Option C, job rotation. Option D, job simplification. The correct answer is option A, job enrichment. Job enrichment fits because job enrichment adds motivating factors to the depth of a job. Job enlargement is different because it adds more tasks at the same level. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and job simplification is different because it reduces task complexity. Question 58. After managers recognize that social needs and group norms affect productivity at a university office for the Sterling unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, scientific management. Option B, human relations approach. Option C, classical bureaucracy. Option D, PERT. The correct answer is option B, human relations approach. Human relations approach fits because the human relations approach emphasizes people, morale, and social factors at work. Scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient task methods. Classical bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes formal rules and hierarchy, and PERT is different because it schedules project activities. Question 59. If a firm discovers its outdated software is hurting productivity during a product launch for the Sterling unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, strength. Option B, opportunity. Option C, threat. Option D, weakness. The correct answer is option D, weakness. Weakness fits because a weakness is an internal limitation that can reduce performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage. Opportunity is different because it comes from a favorable external condition, and threat is different because it comes from an unfavorable external condition. Question 60. To analyze a case where a team writes a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound during a budget review for the Sterling unit, which term should be selected? Option A, vision statement. Option B, grapevine. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, SMART goal. The correct answer is option D, SMART goal. SMART goal fits because SMART goals are clear enough to guide action and evaluate results. Vision statement is different because it describes a desired future rather than a measurable target. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and bureaucracy is different because it is a formal rule-based structure. Question 61. For an exam item where a manager assigns a task and grants enough authority to complete it during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, centralization. Option B, job rotation. Option C, delegation. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option C, delegation. Delegation fits because delegation transfers responsibility for work along with the authority needed to do it. Centralization is different because it keeps authority near the top, job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and arbitration is different because it uses a third party to make a binding dispute decision. Question 62. In a workplace example where a diagram shows formal positions and reporting relationships during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit, which concept is tested? Option A, organization chart. Option B, balance sheet. Option C, SWOT table. Option D, training plan. The correct answer is option A, organization chart. Organization chart fits because an organization chart visually displays formal authority and reporting lines. Balance sheet is different because it reports financial position. SWOT table is different because it summarizes strategic factors, and training plan is different because it develops employee skills. Question 63. Before choosing an answer about managers estimate how much output a facility must be able to produce inside a sales department for the Sterling unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, job evaluation. Option B, capacity planning. Option C, mediation. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option B, capacity planning. Capacity planning fits because capacity planning determines the production ability needed to meet demand. Job evaluation is different because it helps determine pay value. Mediation is different because it supports dispute resolution, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 64. One manager notices that a manager compares actual performance with standards and corrects a gap inside an HR department for the Sterling unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, planning. Option B, organizing. Option C, controlling. Option D, leading. The correct answer is option C, controlling. Controlling fits because controlling measures results, compares them with standards, and triggers corrective action. Planning is different because it sets goals but does not measure completed results. Organizing is different because it assigns work and authority, and leading is different because it motivates people rather than evaluates variances. Question 65. Could a case where employees follow a required sequence for approving purchase orders in a call center for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A, policy. Option B, mission. Option C, procedure. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option C, procedure. Procedure fits because a procedure lists the steps for completing a recurring task. Policy is different because it is broader and less step-by-step. Mission is different because it states the organization's purpose, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 66. Why would a scenario where a company creates separate units for consumer products, business products, and services at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A, functional structure. Option B, simple structure. Option C, staff authority. Option D, divisional structure. The correct answer is option D, divisional structure. Divisional structure fits because a divisional structure groups work around products, customers, or regions. Functional structure is different because it groups by specialized activities. Simple structure is different because it has little formalization and few departments, and staff authority is different because it gives advice rather than a full divisional design. Question 67. Where does a leader changes direction and support based on follower readiness in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, situational leadership. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, bureaucratic management. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option A, situational leadership. Situational leadership fits because situational leadership adapts leader behavior to the maturity or readiness of followers. Autocratic leadership is different because it consistently centers decisions on the leader. Bureaucratic management is different because it emphasizes formal rules, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns jobs for motivation. Question 68. Should a student connect a manager adapts decisions to different laws, cultures, currencies, and markets at a university office for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A, domestic management only. Option B, global management. Option C, job analysis. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option B, global management. Global management fits because global management requires leading and coordinating across national environments. Domestic management only is different because it focuses on one home country context. Job analysis is different because it studies one position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors current work. Question 69. Which concept is shown when a manager has the formal right to make decisions and direct work during a product launch for the Sterling unit? Option A, responsibility. Option B, accountability. Option C, motivation. Option D, authority. The correct answer is option D, authority. Authority fits because authority is the legitimate right to command resources and give orders. Responsibility is different because it is the duty to perform assigned work. Accountability is different because it is being answerable for results, and motivation is different because it is the drive to act. Question 70. A new customer segment appears in the market during a budget review for the Sterling unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, opportunity. Option B, weakness. Option C, strength. Option D, policy. The correct answer is option A, opportunity. Opportunity fits because an opportunity is an external condition the organization can use to improve results. Weakness is different because it is inside the organization, strength is different because it is an internal advantage, and policy is different because it is a general decision guideline. Question 71. During a management case, managers inspect inputs before production begins during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, concurrent control. Option B, feedback control. Option C, feed-forward control. Option D, clan control. The correct answer is option C, feed-forward control. Feed-forward control fits because feed-forward control prevents problems by checking resources or plans before work starts. Concurrent control is different because it monitors work while it occurs. Feedback control is different because it evaluates completed results, and clan control is different because it relies on shared values. Question 72. How should a manager classify a situation where union representatives and management negotiate wages, hours, and working conditions during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit? Option A, mediation. Option B, recruitment. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option C, collective bargaining. Collective bargaining fits because collective bargaining is the negotiation process between labor and management. Mediation is different because it uses a neutral helper in a dispute. Recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 73. When frontline supervisors plan specific daily activities and work routines inside a sales department for the Sterling unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, operational planning. Option B, strategic planning. Option C, organization development. Option D, benchmarking. The correct answer is option A, operational planning. Operational planning fits because operational planning deals with short-range tasks, procedures, and schedules. Strategic planning is different because it covers broad long-term direction. Organization development is different because it focuses on planned organizational change, and benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leading performers. Question 74. After two departments search for a solution that fully addresses both sides' concerns inside an HR department for the Sterling unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, avoidance. Option B, forcing. Option C, compromise. Option D, collaboration. The correct answer is option D, collaboration. Collaboration fits because collaboration tries to create a win-win outcome by addressing underlying interests. Avoidance is different because it postpones or ignores the conflict. Forcing is different because it uses power to win at the other's expense, and compromise is different because it requires each side to give up something. Question 75. If workers plan, schedule, monitor, and control much of their own work in a call center for the Sterling unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, traditional team. Option B, self-managed team. Option C, virtual organization. Option D, quality circle. The correct answer is option B, self-managed team. Self-managed team fits because self-managed teams have authority over many administrative and work process decisions. Traditional team is different because it relies more on a supervisor for direction. Virtual organization is different because it uses networks and technology across locations, and quality circle is different because it usually recommends improvements rather than manages all work. Question 76. To analyze a case where managers study broad principles such as unity of command and division of work at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit, which term should be selected? Option A, administrative management. Option B, scientific management. Option C, quantitative management. Option D, e-business. The correct answer is option A, administrative management. Administrative management fits because administrative management focuses on general principles for managing organizations. Scientific management is different because it focuses more on individual task efficiency. Quantitative management is different because it applies mathematical models, and e-business is different because it uses digital technology for business processes. Question 77. For an exam item where consultants help improve culture, teamwork, and readiness for change in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, scientific management. Option B, organization development. Option C, recruitment. Option D, budget variance analysis. The correct answer is option B, organization development. Organization development fits because organization development uses planned interventions to improve organizational effectiveness. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and budget variance analysis is different because it compares planned and actual financial results. Question 78. In a workplace example where workers are told that safety goggles must be worn in the lab at a university office for the Sterling unit, which concept is tested? Option A, policy. Option B, strategy. Option C, empowerment. Option D, rule. The correct answer is option D, rule. Rule fits because a rule states exactly what must or must not be done. Policy is different because it offers broad guidance rather than a specific command. Strategy is different because it sets broad direction, and empowerment is different because it gives employees more decision authority. Question 79. Before choosing an answer about branch managers are allowed to solve local customer problems without headquarters approval during a product launch for the Sterling unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, centralization. Option B, bureaucracy. Option C, decentralization. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option C, decentralization. Decentralization fits because decentralization gives lower levels more authority to make decisions. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at the top, bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 80. One manager notices that an organization relies on written rules, hierarchy, specialization, and formal procedures during a budget review for the Sterling unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, adhocracy. Option B, grapevine. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option D, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy fits because bureaucracy is a formal structure built around rules, hierarchy, and defined roles. Adhocracy is different because it is flexible and innovation-oriented, grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation. Question 81. Could a case where managers estimate future sales before setting staffing levels during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A, delegation. Option B, forecasting. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option B, forecasting. Forecasting fits because forecasting predicts future conditions so managers can plan more intelligently. Delegation is different because it assigns responsibility and authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to a job, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral party to guide dispute resolution. Question 82. Why would a scenario where a company prepares a backup response in case a supplier fails during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A, standing rule. Option B, contingency plan. Option C, job analysis. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option B, contingency plan. Contingency plan fits because a contingency plan prepares for possible future events or disruptions. Standing rule is different because it gives a continuing command for repeated behavior. Job analysis is different because it studies tasks and requirements, and downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Question 83. Where does executives choose broad long-term goals for the whole organization inside a sales department for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, operational planning. Option B, strategic planning. Option C, work scheduling. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option B, Strategic planning. Strategic planning fits because strategic planning sets organization-wide direction over a longer time horizon. Operational planning is different because it focuses on short-term day-to-day activities, work scheduling is different because it assigns timing to tasks, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employee results. Question 84. Should a student connect an HR specialist advises managers about hiring rules without running their departments inside an HR department for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A, staff authority. Option B, line authority. Option C, centralization. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option A, staff authority. Staff authority fits because staff authority supports line managers with specialized advice. Line authority is different because it directly commands core work. Centralization is different because it concerns where decisions are made, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work in progress. Question 85. Which concept is shown when employees are grouped into departments such as finance, marketing, and operations in a call center for the Sterling unit? Option A, functional structure. Option B, divisional structure. Option C, matrix structure. Option D, virtual team. The correct answer is option A, functional structure. Functional structure fits because a functional structure groups people by similar skills or activities. Divisional structure is different because it groups by product, customer, or geography. Matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines, and virtual team is different because it works across distance through technology. Question 86. Each side gives up part of what it wants to reach a settlement at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, compromise. Option B, collaboration. Option C, avoidance. Option D, accommodation. The correct answer is option A, compromise. Compromise fits because compromise resolves conflict through mutual concessions. Collaboration is different because it seeks a fuller win-win solution. Avoidance is different because it sidesteps the issue, and accommodation is different because it yields to the other side. Question 87. During a management case, employees in marketing and operations coordinate work at the same level in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, horizontal communication. Option B, downward communication. Option C, upward communication. Option D, chain of command. The correct answer is option A, horizontal communication. Horizontal communication fits because horizontal communication occurs among people or units at similar levels. Downward communication is different because it flows down the hierarchy, upward communication is different because it flows up the hierarchy, and chain of command is different because it shows formal authority lines. Question 88. How should a manager classify a situation where major decisions must be approved by top executives at a university office for the Sterling unit? Option A, decentralization. Option B, centralization. Option C, empowerment. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option B, centralization. Centralization fits because centralization concentrates decision authority at higher levels. Decentralization is different because it pushes authority to lower levels. Empowerment is different because it gives employees more discretion, and horizontal communication is different because it flows among peers. Question 89. When a team ignores warning signs because members want agreement more than realistic evaluation during a product launch for the Sterling unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, constructive conflict. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, equity theory. Option D, groupthink. The correct answer is option D, groupthink. Groupthink fits because groupthink occurs when pressure for harmony weakens critical thinking. Constructive conflict is different because it encourages useful disagreement. Benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices, and equity theory is different because it focuses on perceived fairness. Question 90. After a manager postpones addressing a conflict and hopes it disappears during a budget review for the Sterling unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, avoidance. Option B, forcing. Option C, collaboration. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option A, avoidance. Avoidance fits because avoidance delays or withdraws from conflict rather than solving it directly. Forcing is different because it uses authority to impose a solution. Collaboration is different because it openly works through both sides' concerns, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral facilitator. Question 91. If a project display shows tasks as bars across a timeline during a leadership workshop for the Sterling unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, organization chart. Option B, Gantt chart. Option C, SWOT table. Option D, balance sheet. The correct answer is option B, Gantt chart. Gantt chart fits because a Gantt chart visually schedules project activities over time. Organization chart is different because it shows reporting relationships. SWOT table is different because it summarizes strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and balance sheet is different because it reports assets, liabilities, and equity. Question 92. To analyze a case where employees worry a new system will reduce their status or job security during a quality improvement meeting for the Sterling unit, which term should be selected? Option A, resistance to change. Option B, empowerment. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, orientation. The correct answer is option A, resistance to change. Resistance to change fits because resistance to change often comes from fear, uncertainty, or perceived loss. Empowerment is different because it gives people more discretion. Benchmarking is different because it compares against best practices, and orientation is different because it introduces employees to the organization. Question 93. For an exam item where a team generates many ideas before judging any of them inside a sales department for the Sterling unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, groupthink. Option B, arbitration. Option C, budgeting. Option D, brainstorming. The correct answer is option D, brainstorming. Brainstorming fits because brainstorming separates idea generation from evaluation to encourage creativity. Groupthink is different because it pressures members toward agreement. Arbitration is different because it lets a third party decide a dispute, and budgeting is different because it plans financial resources. Question 94. In a workplace example where team members write ideas silently, discuss them, and rank the options inside an HR department for the Sterling unit, which concept is tested? Option A, nominal group technique. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, grapevine. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option A, nominal group technique. Nominal group technique fits because the nominal group technique reduces dominance by collecting individual ideas before voting. Brainstorming is different because it usually encourages open idea generation. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job analysis is different because it studies work duties. Question 95. Before choosing an answer about a supervisor motivates employees and guides them toward a shared goal in a call center for the Sterling unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, planning. Option B, organizing. Option C, leading. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option C, leading. Leading fits because leading focuses on influencing, motivating, and directing people. Planning is different because it is about setting direction before action. Organizing is different because it designs responsibilities and relationships, and controlling is different because it compares results with standards. Question 96. One manager notices that a manager recognizes that basic needs must be met before higher growth needs motivate employees at a healthcare clinic for the Sterling unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Option B, equity theory. Option C, expectancy theory. Option D, reinforcement theory. The correct answer is option A, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs fits because Maslow's theory arranges needs from basic physiological needs to self-actualization. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness comparisons. Expectancy theory is different because it links effort, performance, and rewards, and reinforcement theory is different because it uses consequences to shape behavior. Question 97. Could a case where employees share unwritten values about how work should be done in a growing retail firm for the Sterling unit best point to which concept? Option A, organization chart. Option B, budget. Option C, organizational culture. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option C, organizational culture. Organizational culture fits because organizational culture is the shared values, beliefs, and assumptions of members. Organization chart is different because it shows formal structure. Budget is different because it allocates money, and job specification is different because it lists required qualifications. Question 98. Why would a scenario where a leader focuses first on helping followers grow and succeed at a university office for the Sterling unit most likely test which idea? Option A, servant leadership. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, scientific management. The correct answer is option A, servant leadership. Servant leadership fits because servant leadership prioritizes follower development, service, and trust. Autocratic leadership is different because it emphasizes command by the leader, transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes performance exchanges, and scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient work methods. Question 99. Where does employees can trace who reports to whom from supervisor to executive during a product launch for the Sterling unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, chain of command. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option A, chain of command. Chain of command fits because the chain of command shows the formal line of authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to work. Benchmarking is different because it compares performance with best practices, and equity theory is different because it concerns perceived fairness. Question 100. Should a student connect a leader makes decisions alone and expects quick compliance during a budget review for the Sterling unit with which management concept? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, democratic leadership. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, servant leadership. The correct answer is option A, autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership fits because autocratic leadership centralizes authority in the leader. Democratic leadership is different because it invites participation, laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers wide freedom, and servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers' needs.